So there are two factors to. This is what I wrote. I wanted to talk about, but that's not where it started. I just said that one now. That first line, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just add it to what I wanted to say. That was it, random. Another just random thought I just threw in there, but it was just a random thought I just put down that is essential when it comes to saying like Mr. Beast, because that could mean multiple things. Primarily, two things. There's two factors that is like Mr. Beast, and it's not just Mr. Beast. If you say I want to be like a Lamborghini, it could mean that you mean like Lamborghini in terms of like the way Lamborghini is a sports car and G-Wagon is not. You understand? Yeah. So it could also mean the way Lamborghini is like arguably the most popular car name and the most recognizable car look, identifiable, which is recognizable car look. So that might be what you mean by like Lamborghini. Or you could mean the way Lamborghini is in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and many cars are not there. So when you say like, it's important to understand what you mean by like what do you mean by that? Like, I want to be like you. Do you mean like my height, my face, my dressing, or my personality, or like me in terms of like status, like the kind of money I have? You know, people don't ask this to yourself. And when you don't, the funny thing about clarity is that when you don't have clarity, you don't have clarity even to your own self. Your mind does not know what we mean by it. If your mind is not very clear on what you mean, the subconscious role of your mind in helping with the pattern connection for that will not happen, because it does not actually know what you mean. So when you say I want to be like Kim Kardashian, if you're not very clear and specific about what you mean by that, then your mind cannot really help you to do its job of pattern association to lead and connect you to opportunities or situation or information that are insightful towards becoming like Kim Kardashian. Instead, it will just be acting randomly, and then you keep like, this is not what I want, but I don't know why I'm not getting what I want, because you're not clear. Clarity is one of the things they see in people, and they're like, oh, you're going to go far because you know what you want. That's a very important thing. Don't let it go. You know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, then you will not be able to do pattern association that is helpful. You're just there. And so sometimes you get helpful pattern associations. Sometimes, what was that? Sometimes you're not able to do the, is this light that is causing it? Sometimes you're not able to do the pattern association. And so you just have like, oh, it looks like I'm on the path, and then all of a sudden I'm not on the path again. Like, what's going on? I know what I want, but you're not really clear on what you want, most especially when what you want has like layers to it, and it's like, what do you mean by that? So my dream YouTube scenario, as we already know, I've established multiple times in the past, is a Mr. Beast that is does like exploits in the entertainment industry, like from at the foundational level. That's what the dream has always been. Now dreams should evolve as you grow and learn, because your dreams, you could have dreamt of becoming a pilot that flies spaceships. As you start to grow and learn, you realize that, I was just interested in flying like planes, but I felt so inspired. I feel like planes were too not exciting. But now that I've learned so much about planes, I don't want to go to space. I love the idea of just being on the road. So it's important to not be scared to evolve your dreams, either by enlarging them or tweaking them in ways that might seem like breaking them down, scaling them down. The most important thing is the whole idea of the dream is that you had a goal that you set for a life that is fun and fulfilling. And as you grow, you start to learn that, maybe that life was not even that fun. Maybe it was not that fulfilling. Anyways, so when it comes to Mr. Beast now, when I say like Mr. Beast, there needs to be the establishment of the factors that make up Mr. Beast, like the factors of like, I need to specify like Mr. Beast, so that as I go ahead to then explain things, just going forward now and forever, we're able to make reference to what aspect of Mr. Beast are we talking about. You understand? And so the two primary factors of when you say like Mr. Beast is his positioning and his status. Now, his positioning is grounded like his foundation with kids content, wired with original viral concepts that people can't help but talk about. That's his positioning, that's his genre, that's his niche. So when somebody says I want to be like Mr. Beast, maybe, I mean, like when I say I want to be like Mr. Beast, maybe I mean like I would like that niche. It might not necessarily mean the second one now, his status. His status now is achieved through the scale of the videos made in the position. Now, his positioning, I admire so much, and there is no debate about it. It's one of my dream. It's my dream to be in that positioning, not position as status, but positioning as his niche, his genre, the sort of content he makes. I aspire to. You understand? Yeah. So, Stamp. His status now depends. That's the places where I don't know enough. With time, I continue to think about how much of this status do I want. Do I really want to get to 300 million views per video, or do I not mind, or is it realistic? What factors is it even realistic to hit that status ever again? You understand? But the one thing that is not questionable is my desire for his positioning, which is grounded in kids' YouTube content and wired with original viral concepts that people can't help but talk about. So, whereas with the status, it has to do with the scale. So I can be like, oh, I figured out how to be like Mr. Beast. I mean it, which is what we were discussing the other day. I mean it in the context of his genre, his niche, his type of content. Truly, his branding. Thank you. It's his brand positioning. Let's call it that. Brand positioning and brand status. You understand? So I figured out how to be like Mr. Beast in terms of brand positioning, because there are many big YouTubers, but none of them brand position wise like Mr. Beast. There's nobody their brand is well positioned like Mr. Beast. The only person that comes close is ZAC, and not really. There's so many still missing aspects. Like, in order to have that, you need ZAC to merge with Eric and Ryan Tran, then you get Mr. Beast. Exactly. Ryan Tran and Eric are missing the ZAC in Mr. Beast, and ZAC is missing the Ryan Tran and Eric in Mr. Beast. So for me, the dream has always been that brand positioning that Mr. Beast figured out or pioneered, or you understand? And the status then has always been questionable based on what is possible and what I feel is even necessary, what the sacrifice. So what's possible and what's necessary? Like, what's possible in the sense that not analyzing, is that status even still possible and achievable? And if it is it necessary, and what the sacrifice that it takes to get it? Those are up for debate. But the brand positioning is the best case scenario you can be as a creator. That positioning. Now, so when I say and that status, money plays a huge role when it comes to Mr. Beast status, because the status is achieved through the scale of the videos he makes in that brand position. It's not just the scale of the videos, and that's why people have made videos similar scale to some of his videos, but they are not positioned. Their brand is not positioned like his own, so they didn't achieve the kind of status he achieved. Even though they've spent 100,000 in a video, 400,000 in the case of some in a video, like Eric has said he has. Was it 400 or 190 or something? I think that was what he made here. His highest any month. But like, let's say $200,000. That's huge. Mr. Beast still spends like that in some videos, then do like this, and you will not really think about how much went into the video because he's used to spending high amounts. So, but he did not get the reward. Even with that money, that video did not earn him a status similar to the status of Mr. Beast, because the position of his brand is not positioned like Mr. Beast's brand. You understand? Yeah. And so what I had come to the realization of after like all these years of constantly one niche to the other and learning about different positioning and lifestyle niche. And then recently, the simplification of breaking all this down into kids content, mainstream YouTube, mainstream internet, Mr. Beast, who combines all three, and mainstream entertainment, Logan Paul, KSI, Jake Paul. And what that has then done, plus watching that video that day and then that tweets series, what that has then done is then unlocking my mind how to position your brand like Mr. Beast, such that it is grounded in and the foundation of it is kids content on YouTube. It is wired by mainstream YouTube, which is original viral concepts that people can't help but talk about. But still, those viral concepts are still relevant to the kids content or the kid audience because they are the core. So it's the kind of content that they like with a viral concept that can get everybody talk, others talking, and the children watching. It's kind of like what with Mr. Beast. The children are watching, others are talking. That's the Mr. Beast brand. It makes it consumable for the children and polarizing for the adults, or at least talkable. And so they are like, oh man, I can't believe he spent this thing. Many of them have not watched any Last to Live beginning to end. It's unlikely that we have not even watched that many Last to Live beginning to end. Many adults can't see through a Mr. Beast video, except those, don't use adults. Many mainstream internet adults can't see through a Mr. Beast video beginning to end. They'll probably fall through. But they will talk about it more than even the kids that watch it. You understand? So, enjoyable for the kids and triggering for the adults. Anyways, so foundation in kids content wired by mainstream YouTube and then promoted and talked about on mainstream internet. That's the journey. That's the brand positioning. Now, that's not how you become Mr. Beast in terms of status. Doing that does not mean people are going to care. The status is not based on the scale. But being in Nigeria does not stop me from positioning myself in that brand, in that position. Do you understand? Where being Nigerian and not being rich can come into play could potentially then be the scale. Because I don't have $1 million and I don't have 500 white people to come and call for a challenge. To do 200, last to leave the circle with 200 people, 200, foreign white people, Americans. But that does not affect the positioning, the brand style, the niche, is that skill. So, which means I can then do that in a lower skill and be where I am building as I go. Now, why is that not a concern? Because you'd have done that before now, but you stopped at some point. Well, because then we're not standing in the real place. It was another example. It was like Iraq. You're building like you're in the direction of Iraq, not Mr. Beast. Because what was missing then? Kids content being the foundation. Whereas now, you figured out the kids content zone, which will always just left. You figure out the kids content zone, which is what now led to oh shit, as I'm here, I just realized this is also Mr. Beast zone. This is primarily his zone. You wouldn't think so when you are in the loop of the other side and you're just thinking of survival challenges or those type of things. Then you come here no, this. They don't know over there, but this is Mr. Beast's home. And so it's like, okay, so this is where I need to start building from. So it feels like something fucking out of a movie or something made up, but coming from the beginning in the last 2-3 years and literally just backtracking to the foundation. It started with mainstream entertainment. Oh, Logan Paul is actor, blah blah, and just trying to pay attention to how these were already making exploit in entertainment. Down to mainstream internet, looking at KSI and the Sidemen and Mr. Beast, but down to proper mainstream YouTube, looking at Mr. Beast now and then the Erags, down to kids content, looking at the Brent Riveras and the Benazlats and Jordan Matters, and then realizing, oh shit, every stage I went through, there was Mr. Beast. You understand? It always felt like I figured Mr. Beast out. Oh, but for one reason or the other, I'm going to check this other niche, this other creator. But having I can confidently say, having studied every top creator that has ever existed. We have gone through all of it like that. You understand? As at the last phase, maybe in 2021, trying to do some of our challenges, there was still the Benazlas and the Brent Riveras that I was aware, but I didn't think of going to study and observe and figure out. There is not now. There is not version of entertainment creator that is like, we're just not looking at those people. Yeah. And so having done that, it's not just created, just aligned everything, pattern association. I've given data points to my mind, and it can now see, I see Mr. Beast here. Oh, so Mr. Beast is, because it has that data, it's now arranging it. Also, Mr. Beast is primarily his content. That's why there's the massive growth and massive numbers, regardless. And that's why there's the slightly juvenile, slightly natural delivery. Okay. And then there's original viral concepts that's responsible for the respect and the perception of that he has outside of the people who watch the video. And then there is the talkability, which makes him very mainstream on the internet, because on the internet he does things over time that people have had to talk about him. Oh shoot, that's it. That's the arrangement. So build a foundation in this, but have this for the respect, and then this now. Like, so let's end it on the mainstream internet now. Mr. Beast status then plays his role in being a part of mainstream internet. So, but you stand in the position. Scale is what will now get you people talking about you. You understand? Many people would have been talked about with the people have gotten 40 million views. But nobody cares on mainstream internet because they're not standing in that position. If you got 40 million views standing in that position, then you could come and say something. You don't want to mention his name, and that literally mentions his name, if that makes any sense. I talked about him coming to talk about one video that he got 10 million views because he's not got 10 million views in a while. And I was like this guy thinks anybody is listening. He doesn't post on Twitter. Like last post was April 2012 or something. No exaggeration. I just saw a post. I'm like, wait, this guy is on Twitter. And I click on it. This is his first post in years. It's him trying to, that whole period when everybody's doing breakdown. I'm like, no, like you don't follow. But that's the thing. If you're standing in the right position, that would have, okay, but 10 is not scaled enough to get the people talking. So more of the story is to create a foundation in kids' YouTube content, wire it with original viral concept that people can't help but talk about, on even original viral concept that people care about, the young audience care about, and then scale it. And the scale is what will get you into mainstream internet. How successful you are is what will determine if you then make it to mainstream internet. And the beauty of that is that you're not coming there, you're coming there because of your success. You're not coming there to look for success. You understand? Whereas most people on the mainstream internet need controversy and shit to this thing. It's like, oh, you're working on your kids' content on the original mainstream YouTube thing, and you're pushing it, scaling it, and then it starts to become the reason why you end up in a Sidemen video. You end up in a Sidemen video not because you're one controversial character, but because you're one successful character. So that makes it the mainstream internet more sustainable for you than it is for the typical people who just jump in there, because they have to keep doing polarizing shit and controversial shit to stay there. You have to keep growing. It's like, if you want to stay relevant on the internet, keep growing. And that's what my man Jimmy does. He tries to make sure that the views so that they keep talking about me here. And if they're not talking about me, then I make an even bigger video and call everybody from all over the world and call it Beast Olympics. Are you guys going to talk? That's kind of, as difficult as that also is, as mainstream internet is very difficult. It is much more sustainable than I have to do something controversial, because that's detrimental to your health. Even though this could potentially be based on the kind of skill and the scale Mr. Beast has pushed it. So I've kind of think I'll make this one video. Forget shit. I'll just try not to talk too much and just read. Scroll up. So this is just a random thought I put that is based on this thing that I wrote now. So whilst thinking of budget constraints for us, so this is the origin of this thought. Of all this thought that I just shared, this is the origin. Whilst thinking of budget constraint, I started to think of ways to capitalize on the limited budget to be a thing. As I was just thinking about, I want to make I need to make a new video every day for 5 years, 5 to 10 years. And like the industry, kids content, like it's a lot of money, man, and I would not be able to blah, blah. And so I was just thinking about that constraint. And I was like, how about fixing just one budget? Let it be a thing. That, the videos are a certain budget. You understand? That then brought me back to somewhere we have visited before, trying to figure out low budget of Mr. Beast viral videos. But this time, we have, which is what I just talked about now, is the Mr. Beast video. Basically, what I'm saying here, I don't know if reading this is even better, because this is before I then simplified that distance, so you can get confusing. So I just can't through it, so I don't repeat thoughts that are now clearer. But the point I'm trying to make there is that the Mr. Beast viral video, what I mean is basically the Mr. Beast brand position, but on a low scale. But from, you understand? So I'm like, I was just thinking about low budget. It's like, yeah, talking about low budget. Like, yeah, how about low budget, figuring out this Mr. Beast brand positioning? And then starting from, how about separating Mr. Beast positioning from his status? And let's focus on staying on his positioning with the budget we have. And then let the dream be the day I will get that status. Not doing something else, and the dream is the day I will figure out Mr. Beast positioning and start trying to go there. It's like, no, from now, let it be Mr. Beast positioning. I'm already going to assume that in the next 5 to 10 years, nothing is going to happen. So I might as well spend that 5 to 10 years building a catalog of content that is like Mr. Beast positioning, so that the day the magic happens and I get my breakthrough, I'm like, I'm getting the advantage of that Mr. Beast positioning. You understand? And so that's what I was saying, that I wrote this that day before I saw that tweet. And the minute I just saw the tweet, the whole thing happened. This is what I wrote first before I saw the tweet, found out, talked to people about it that day. So this is the thought I already put to myself, that how about standing in Mr. Beast positioning and let it be the status that's the difference. That position, just figuring out that positioning. Anyways, boom, finish writing what I'm writing. Go on Twitter, see this thing. And my brain's like, no way, that makes sense of it. Blah blah blah. You understand? Which is all we already know now. So now we've tried it before. The difference was, one, we didn't understand. We had not understood every successful entertainment niche on YouTube. There was one missing, the kids content. You understand? Now we have understood that, and now realize that it plays a major role, and that's where the primary foundation should be. The second thing also is that we didn't have GPT to help with the ideas, to see how a video like that can be on a low budget. I tried then, I had the affirmation of like, oh, low budget viral, this thing. And even I looked at someone and someone else, oh, they're good, but we're trying to see, are they appealing? They are hard, they seem viral, but are they appealing enough to be viral? We're not sure. But there was no GPT then. Now there's GPT to worry about that, to be able to find the right way to work with. You understand? So there's GPT to help with ideas now, and we understand the niches and the best practices also of these niches. The best practices, that's like for the kids content now, we know what the best practice is, we know what you are supposed to do. You understand? To build a community on kids content. Because it's not just knowing, it's knowing what you are supposed to do. We know what we're supposed to do for kids content, which is follow viral trends. You understand? So a combination of following that viral trends now could be something that might help give some respect to the brand and potentially create better audience connection down the road. Because that would mean a mix of copied videos and original video ideas. You understand? A mix of copied videos, which is what is the kids content is a lot about, remixed videos, and then original video ideas, which becomes the source of respect and the mainstream respect. So basically, get back on the road of following my interest in the Mr. Beast positioning, like I've expressed in the past. The mainstream internet, mainstream YouTube, and kids content YouTube positioning is what the journey is now. Getting back on that, as I've expressed in the past. We had left that to just kids and lifestyle was what we're doing. But now we are coming back to that. Well, kids and lifestyle, we don't have to leave it. Apparently, Mr. Beast is a part of that. That's his foundation. So we're in the right position, but we don't have to abandon this one till later and abandon mainstream YouTube till later. We can actually grow the both together. In fact, that's what even then helps for you to truly be like Mr. Beast. You understand? Now, considering I have GPT now, just for clarification again, we stopped back then because we had limited knowledge and understanding of the position. We had limited budget to do anything substantial and needed to keep studying other YouTube niches for less expensive ways into YouTube success. That was why we needed to study other YouTube niches and stuff. You understand? Now, considering I have GPT and also understand the industry niches much better, finding less expensive ways to make mainstream YouTube videos is much more feasible. Couple that with our understanding of kids content YouTube, and we'll be positioned in the Mr. Beast position, and then it will only be a matter of status. You understand? Then it will only be a matter of status. It's like, we do like a Mr. Beast like brand. It's just that we are 0.1% and it's at 7,000%. But at least we're in that zone. Whatever opportunity, whatever that comes to the small version of Mr. Beast can come there. Do you get? If there's whatever reward, and if at the end of the day I end up only 15% of Mr. Beast, I'm still happy. because that position, I believe, is a lucrative position. And whatever comes to whoever is 15% in that position is still good for me. Because I'm getting the audience this thing, but I'm also getting connection because of the nature of the content. And I'm also getting respect because of the originality or the nature of the content. And then it will not be a matter of not getting proper recognition in mainstream internet. You understand? But I have the audience, I have the catalog, I have which helps to translate to money, revenue, and I have the respect. It's just that I'm not that big to get recognition. It's like, oh, cool, well, keep working hard and keep finding ways to scale to a point of recognition. Do you understand?
Yes.
That is, we'll be in the right place, just that no one knows us yet. But at least we're in the best position to build a brand similar to Mr. Beast in type, just different in size. You understand? It's like I want to be a car sports builder. So yes, our car is not as good as Lamborghini or as popular as Lamborghini, but at least it's a sports car. This is the industry I want to play in. Sports car. Now it's about figuring out, after having built the car, how can we then rise to the top of sports car industry versus, oh, everybody's saying Lamborghini, but nobody actually makes a sports car. We're all just competing with other cars. But it's like, no, I like sports cars. I like what Mr. Beast is, the positioning of his brand, all aspects of it. You understand? I don't just like him based on his big and I'm just looking for any niche that I just big this thing. I like that position and I found that position in, you understand? So that's why I want to stay. And let me be the car that nobody wants to buy. The sports car that nobody wants to buy. But at least I'm a sports car. That is fulfilling. You understand?
Yes.
And the reason why that is, by the way, is because through that you can then do like everything. That's the best position to be as a YouTuber. You can do anything because you're everything, sort of. If you want to do normal vlog, that is vlog, you can start a channel where you do vlog, and it doesn't feel like a sudden. You can start a vlog where you just him and the boys hanging out, playing basketball and shit, and making jokes and hanging out with other YouTubers. It doesn't feel out of place as if Jordan Mata like had a vlog. I mean, Anasala does have a vlog, but they then have to keep even the vlog completely juvenile because they are fully in that niche. Now, Eric can't start the vlog and do that because he's on the other end of it. You understand? So the Mr. Beast position is the best position to be as a YouTuber, and there's nobody there. I am confidently say there's no YouTuber that is in the position of Mr. Beast. And many YouTubers think they are, but there's not a single YouTuber that fits into all those three categories: kids content, mainstream YouTube, mainstream internet. Nah. And so I want to fit into that. Let me be a small one, and then I will not figure that I will then worry about that later. That's why you see the same thing. The same people that are like Mr. Beast don't see themselves doing like reaction channel. That is like Mr. Beast, like Beast reacts, those type of pop-ups. But then you see Preston, that is supposedly not like Eric, able to do that because he's in the kids content YouTube, and Mr. Beast is able to do that, so he's able to do that. The Mr. Beast then can do a vlog, but you won't see a person do that kind of vlog. So it's like, I don't know why, maybe I'm sure they must have all just been confused. Sometimes they think about it and they get like, we feel we're not the same thing. That's other people like Preston and Eric feel like we're not this. We're not, for the things you do on your channel, I just won't do on my channel. And the things you do, I won't do on my channel. And the things you do, if I want to do on my channel, there's a way I'll do it. That just makes sense because that's just how my audience is, man. You understand? And it gets confusing because like, well, all YouTube audience are still kids. Yeah, but like in the niches, there's a way the expectation the kids have for the different niches. So my plan so far is to work with ChatGPT to look at viral Mr. Beast videos. A list that I already made before. My plan then was to use my brain to do that. Look at a Mr. Beast video and think, how am I going to remake another, not the same thing, completely different video, but based on the principles that made this video succeed. You understand? So my plan now is to take that list and say, hey, the timing is now perfect. 1, there's GPT. 2, I understand kids content. I understand the Mr. Beast brand positioning. But 3, YouTube is now giving a chance to videos. And now, more than ever, it becomes more important for you to make videos that is hard to resist because there's a possibility that YouTube is going to show it to somebody. So now, those kind of Mr. Beast-like titles start to become relevant. Me counting to $10,000, which, spoilers, is one of the videos I'm posting next week, reposting. Me counting to 10,000 on Full Stretch. Now, that's the kind of video that there's a chance of clicking when you randomly see that fourth person that has 100 views. And you're like, what the fuck? That's a 2 hours, fucking 6 hours videos of that person counting to 10,000. Now, 10,000 is small, so I'm not expecting much from it. But then, those type of things now have a possibility of living. if you could redo the Mr. Beast videos, a version, something that's like them, you really have a chance now, this last 1 month, more than ever since Mr. Beast did them. You understand? Because there's now the scarcity of them. Everybody has moved on, everybody has started, everything has exhausted, even if everything has now off. Then YouTube now starts showing one video. That one video is now somebody doing like crazy, difficult, like just irresistible extreme shit. Then the chances of that start to come. You understand? Anyways, so my plan is to work with GPT to look at the viral Mr. Beast videos in order of the ones he did first, not the ones he's doing now, just like I planned them. Just like Imangazi was saying today, it's not what he's doing now that you should copy. So when he's telling you what he's telling you now, he's not doing it. He's mostly saying what he's not doing. Because he's telling you what he did. What I need to do now is different, because now I'm like 30, 40 million. So there's a whole rule and regulation for people at 40 million. But you're not there. So I'm giving you rule and regulation for people who are not at that. And so what you need to be doing that Mr. Beast does is what he did when he had nothing. Not now that he has a regular viewer base. You understand? And then there's the beauty of that. The beauty of that is that most of them are not budget based, because he also didn't start with a lot of money. You understand? Some of them are, but some of them aren't. Now, for the ones that are budget based, with the help of GPT, we will reimagine them with our constraints in general. The constraint means like budget, people, location, etc. These are constraints, because there are some of them that is not the money that is the only problem. It's like, oh well, this last to leave. How are we going to do this now? Because that he used people when he did this one. And we have reimagined it. There's a concept, a different video idea, but like, how can we make a video that gives that same irresistible clickability and satisfaction to watch? What can we reimagine that would give the same type? I want it to be the same thing that people felt watching this, clicking and watching this, that they will feel. So GPT then is able to give suggestion of ideas that is similar to this, that will give that similar thing, but based on our constraints, like the money that I have to spend for the video, the people that I have in the video, the location that I have. Now, those are the things I worry about then. I'm like, I can't figure out. It's so difficult. Now, GPT can figure it out. You understand? So, and then creating a $100 budget close alternative. So my plan is that the video budgets going forward, every video will not exceed $100. My plan is to pride in all my videos are $100 until I can then scale them. They will always stick to a budget as just a brand thing for me. You understand? Coming from my limitation, but then becomes a thing that I make obvious. And now it's $100. And the plan is not to keep it low budget for the sake of branding as that. No, I'll scale it as possible. And for the longest, $100 is the realistic distance to keep it. So $100 can exceed $100. You understand? That's what I was saying when we were shopping on Sunday for the items. That's what I was calculating. For every item I have to calculate, because I have to stay under $100 budget. And that includes all aspects of the video. You understand? I'm not talking about whether I'm giving $100 away in the video. No, the full video should cost $100. I have to find a way to make the full video cost $100. That's the budget that has been put. So which means now the ideas I'm picking, I'm working with GPT to say, take this viral video, reimagine it as a different original concept, first of all, then $100 budget, then only one person or only two people, only three people, and in this location. Yet should still be very appealing to a young audience, US audience. You understand? Which is what I go on to say, creating $100 budget close alternative while keeping in mind that the young audience target. So maintaining elements like fun, spectacle, and crazy action. And that's another one to quickly talk about. Is I summarized the elements that made the videos satisfying for the young audience in America. Is fun, spectacle, and crazy action. That's the way to, what crazy action is what we used to call stunts. And we used to also call it extreme stunts in the case of Mr. Beast. But then that starts to be like, hey, do you mean like Tom Cruise? Because that's also stunt. It's just crazy action. And that's what Mr. Beast is just trying to show by blowing up the world in his video. He just wants to show crazy action. We used to summarize them either extreme stunt or call it spectacle, but they are not specific enough. Spectacle is quite broad. You understand? And we know that spectacle gives what, but it's like crazy action is what Ben Azlat is seeking and puts it in the teaser. And almost people don't really know how to express this thing. So even like if he watches a video, the concerns he has with the typical lifestyle videos is that they don't have crazy action.
Yeah.
So it's like everyone's just sitting down, just talking, and that's why he wants to do a sit-down video. Okay, maybe let's do a wedgie of them. If you feel we pull the wedgie, crazy action, the kind of crazy action that the children, the American young audience, will find appealing. Now, these elements are relevant to write because then I'm giving that to GPT, who will understand what I'm saying. So I'm not just saying to a young audience, I'm specifying because maybe there's other things in a story or video that young audience, whatever. No, I'm not trying to invent the wheel. It's the one that I know, that I see on YouTube as an experienced YouTuber, YouTube editor, YouTube consultant, and YouTube enthusiast. I have now come to be able to put it to words. And I know that, yes, the secret is crazy action. That's what every video should have. That's what you put in your intro. Crazy, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That really gets like the pie in the face I was talking about for that video. It's supposed to be like crazy action. Oh, you understand? Like I was saying the other day about press conferences, you want to make it go viral, let there be crazy action. Just crazy and action. And that's what John Fury does in every promotion, because he knows that when there's crazy action, that's going to be appealing to the young audience. So creating the variations of those Mr. Beast videos, original version, based on the elements that made that video successful. Give me another original idea that is based on that exact elements for that particular video, but now there's $100 budget, this amount of people, so location. But remember, I still want fun, spectacle, and crazy action to be able to come from it. You understand? Yeah. And as for our niche video trends, we would reward. This is I'm still considering this. This will definitely happen down the road, but I'm still considering it in the moment to reward the titles to seem original, and then remix the thumbnails to seem original as well. That way, added to the original contents that we'll be making that are based on GPT helping us to reimagine Mr. Beast's former videos, we could potentially avoid the cost and stigma of our niche, which is exactly what Mr. Beast did, that affects mainstream YouTube respect and mainstream internet recognition. So it's not be the same. Everybody say ban 100 Amazon and write the exact same thing, capitalize one, they capitalize, and then use the same thumbnail that everybody use, and it just looks like, oh, one of those people. Instead, it's the exact same video. I'm not talking about anything. The exact same thing, but instead of saying like 100 banned Amazon products, you just reimagine the title, reword the title, working with GPT to find the one that still has the best. Just not relying on my mind in any way. Working with GPT to find the best elements, the one that. A rewarded version that still doesn't take away the success elements. You understand? Yeah. That's the way it's that there are success elements. That's for a satisfying YouTube video to a kid audience. Is that fun, spectacle, and crazy action? Those are the satisfying elements. So I don't want, with everything, I make sure that the element of success is still there. So strip this thing off of everything that makes it original to this person. Replace those things. Just make sure that you don't touch anything that was responsible for the success. Keep those things. And if a word was responsible for the success, then I'm not changing it. If the entire team was responsible for the success, then fuck it, I'm keeping it. You understand? So even if that means instead of saying 100, saying 1,000, or saying 250, or saying whatever else, that each video is treated by its own as its own case. So now with the trend videos from that niche, we're maintaining relevant, doing the thing we're trying to do, which is trying to make videos that people see. And then with the reimagined old Mr. Beast videos, we are registering originality, hereby potentially building up for respect for when we finally get breakthrough. None of this, I'm not expecting or thinking that any of this is going to mean success. What I'm talking about now, we're talking about brand positioning, to position the brand so tightly. Now that we know that, yes, 5 to 10 years, we just want to close. Like I said, I don't intend to look at the scoreboard for the next 5 to 10 years. I just want to be going. But I feel it gives me so much ease knowing that I'm going in the direction that is right. Now, when I will get to where I'm going and how far it is what I don't know. But at least I know that I can confidently just be in my head and not look up again because I'm going there. And the timing also I'm very grateful for. But it has always been like that with these things. But I'm very grateful for, because it's like I was going to, the other day when I finished reading out the different YouTube niches, I was like, it's tricky because this place where we're going could potentially stop you from ever getting the other thing. But if I had to go with one, this is the one. And so I'm grateful to, as I want to start going to that place, now like, okay, here's what you can do. That gives you a grammar. Right, oh shit, I see it clear. Oh, I see Mr. Beast on this road. So far, but I can see his castle there. At least I'm on the road now. Now, I don't know how far that fucking castle is. I don't even know if I'll die before I reach. But at least I rest well, knowing that I can put my head down and I'm on that road. Not that I'm going and I'm like, fuck, I know this kids content thing. Bro, like, who is the biggest? Jordan Mata, these people, like, that's still not really what I want, and I don't know how they will transition. Fuck. Yeah. But I see this and know that, oh, this works. Oh, shit, this works. Just, pedal on. So, that's the update, and that's the status of things now is remixed version of viral trends in our niche, natural, but with, what do I say? Yeah, natural delivery, juvenile packaging, because we need to get the kids in. You understand? Yeah. So natural delivery, juvenile packaging, it's always just for everything a mix of natural and juvenile. We keep in mind that the foundation are kids. You understand? But we want to keep it natural so that the brand is respected. It's literally, that's just the missing element in this thing. Is Mr. Beast kind of kept it natural for the most part of certain things, and so he was respected. But he made sure that also it was very appealing to kids at the core. But then, so he used natural means to create juvenile content. That's it. Whereas what happened with some of people, maybe say like the Iraqs, is that it's not very much. It's not very much natural. It's more even mature. Yeah. Almost a deliberate effort to make it mature, but a mix of he dabbled with juvenile and mature concepts, which is why you would imagine he probably has more kid fans than Ryan Trian, who was just full on proper vlog, mature, natural approach. He kind of dabbled in the beginning with some kind of thing, even with Fidias, days of Fidias, and even Mark used to be a crazy guy in the videos before everybody just matured up and the video became like, I don't know, like a show. He mostly sits down and something is happening, but in the early days of Mark, then Fidias, which are the early days of Iraq, it felt juvenile in a way. They were playing, they were not serious. It's like what YouTube video was just goofing around like on serious people, which is what that Mr. Beast's last video is. They're just goofing around fucking big giant houses, like on serious people. So it gives me so much ease, but also just like, oh, I can't believe it, because I was ready to go anyways. I was going to start, and I remember saying it when I first made that list. I was like, the kids content now does not translate well to distance. And I don't see how like doing that would then make you like Mr. Beast. But it is at least lucrative. So now that I'm like, fuck, I can't figure out the Mr. Beast brand position, and I can't get it for now. Fuck. Anyways, at least I was starting in a position that there's money. And I'm like, oh shit, oh fuck, I see it now. Oh yes, so now I'm starting in a position that there's money. That also leads to the Mr. Beast this thing. It's just a matter of time and other necessary conditions that play whatever role to now have the success, but 100% guaranteed you are starting in the position. How do you know? Because you're doing everything. So it's not even something like, but what other thing? Casual vlogs? No, definitely not going to just post a normal video about nothing. So, but what about all these videos about like these viral trends? You can get something from the fact that the videos, like when everybody's doing Amazon. Oh, I'm doing that. It's nothing. This is Face Rug, Brent Rivera, Jordan Mata, Iraq, all in one person, which is exactly what Mr. Beast is. Which is why every niche knows Mr. Beast, and every niche can make a video about Mr. Beast, but they cannot all necessarily collaborate with each other in their own video. So, 43 minutes. That's almost an hour. This is how time used to fly when I talk. That was the longest video posted on the channel. But and that's the most productive realization I've had on the channel. As it will be with every video on the channel, it will be typically that. Anyways, it's funny to... Fuck, what was funny? I forgot what was funny. Yeah.